So today I'm going to use something I've never used before. Now, I purchased this. They didn't send it to me for free or anything. This is the Westcott Apolo. This is their strip box. It's their fatter strip box. It's like a window. I love this. Anyway, these soft boxes, the umbrella soft boxes, I use all the time. I have one in my car all the time. I usually have the round ones. But this one here, I wanted to give it a try. Now, I went to their website and it was on sale, and I had points because I bought all my ice lights. So I had points from those and my other items that I bought from there. I love some of their products. I really, really do. But anyway, so this is the softbox that is umbrella. You just pop it open like an umbrella. Difference between this one has double arms on every corner, like really impressive. And they're fiberglass arms. You put your flash in up against the back, so it really lights up the whole thing versus, putting a speed light towards the front and going through the diffuser. You're going to get a hot spot. With this, you don't get a hot spot. It just goes all around the silver, comes out in an even, beautiful light. I love this. Now, this one also has zippers on this side and on the bottom here, so you can mount this horizontally or vertically. I like it horizontal, so I'm going to keep it like this. The other thing is, if you're shooting outside with this light, and I use the V100 outside because it's so powerful, it's 100 watts, it works great. If this thing falls because of the wind, nothing's going to happen to your light. This protects it, and this box can handle it. It's really well made with those double fiberglass arms. It amazes me how well they made this box. Anyway, so I'm using the V100 in this box. I'm excited about that, but I'm also going to use a strip box with a speed light. Now, everybody always tells you on the internet, you don't have to listen to the internet all the time, that you can't use a speed light in a strip box. Now, this is a pretty big strip box for a speed light. I'm not only using the strip box, but I'm using the V480 with the strip box, and I'm going to use a grid on this strip box. You're going to see how well it works. It works perfectly. You're going to love it. I promise you. This is just a great setup. Now, this is a relatively inexpensive softbox setup, again, because this was on sale and I used my points, so it was really expensive for me. But this is a nice softbox to get because it's well made, very well made. I think it's going to handle very well. And for outside, if you shoot outside, this is a must for speed lights because, like I said, if this thing falls, it protects your speed light. And then this one here, this is an inexpensive for what you get because now I can use the square head speed lights on this or the round head because I just have to pop this out. And this is magnetic. I love that they did this. So it just pops in like that. This one also comes with a bones mount. So you can use this on your bones mount lights as well. But I love this softbox. I've been using it all the time because of its weight. It is so lightweight. I hate the grid they provide with it. I think it's cheap, but it works. But I just don't like it because it's cheap. Anyway, but the softbox itself is actually really good. It's been doing great for me. And again, this is a quick pop-up, so there's no issues there. So let's get into the shoot today and see how this setup does. I think it's going to do great. I'm really looking forward to the light from this. And if you have any questions, leave them below. But yeah, this is going to be exciting. This is going to be a lot of fun. And let's see what we can do with this lighting setup. So the first thing I want to do before my client gets in here is I dim the lights in the studio because I don't want any ambient light with these because I really want to see how these boxes do on their own. So I have to just make a judgment. I want to shoot at ISO 100. So these are going to have to be pumped up quite a bit. By quite a bit, I mean maybe 1/8, 1/4. And the side light probably 1/16, 1/8, but I'm guessing. So I'm going to stop down to 3.5 ISO 100. I'm going to shoot at 1/200th of a second. Now, before my client gets here, I obviously don't have anybody to shoot. So I just shoot my hand. It's pretty easy. I take a look at the photo and I can see how it is, with the way it's set up. Right now, I think I'm just a little bit underexposed, not a lot, but this helps a lot, before your client gets here, so you don't have to go through the trouble with doing it while they're here. So I'm going to pump up the main light, which is this one in the softbox, to 1/4 power. And then I'm going to take up the strip light to 1/8. Now it's actually pretty good the way it is. I have a good contrasty image. I like contrast on my images. And the color looks good, but I want to set it to flash white balance to make it easy, because I know a lot of people don't have a color meter. Normally I would just use a color meter and set it that way. But since a lot of people don't have it, we're just going to set the white balance to flash. So I have a good color. It's warmer. It's not as cold, and it looks great. I always say it in this channel. I love small, lightweight setups like this. These soft boxes are great. That just two speed lights. It's a fantastic setup. Now I'm shooting with the Nikon ZF again, and that incredible Voigtlander 40 millimeter 1.2, and I'm shooting around 3.5 to f4. I bounce back and forth. I don't go below 3.5. I don't go wider than that. But this little setup, it's easy to start with. There's nothing to fear with this kind of setup. All you have to do is adjust your lights. Look at the back of your screen and adjust your lights. It takes seconds. It really, really does. So you don't have to worry about TTL or anything. You can control the light. Now, these are just straight shots, but later I want to get a little bit more creative with the light. So I'm going to need to be able to control the light and to control the power, like something like this. For TTL, that would have been blown out on that left side because the camera's looking at that whole face versus just that one side. It's going to, pump up that power too much. Now, by moving that light forward just 4 inches, 5 inches, I get a wraparound light. It's really that simple. Now, after using this light, I'm definitely going to order the grid for this because I'm really enjoying this softbox. Again, I like lightweight setups. I have the big lights in the studio, but it's so much more fun just to throw some speed lights in, use lightweight stands. They're easy to move around. They're easy to control, and you get some amazing images out of this kind of light. Now, these lights are staying around 1/4. I didn't take it over 1/2, and that was for the full length. But the rest of the time, that main light was at 1/4, and I bounced in between 1/8 and 1/16 on that strip light. And that's in that big strip light with the grid on it. And that's the V480, because I just want a touch of light on that rim light. Just a little highlight here or there on the shoulder. That was at 1/8. It's a little bit too powerful for me. It would have been a lot better if I took it down just a little bit. But these are the kind of like unique things you can do with this kind of setup. And you can see that I'm getting contrasty looks, I'm getting dramatic looks, I'm getting soft lighting, just everything you could possibly want. Now, if I want that backdrop to light up, to be white, I'm just going to move her close to the backdrop. Now, for me, again, and I always say this to you guys, look for that shadow, because that shadow is going to add that separation, that 3D pop that you're looking for all the time. Even though I'm, shooting at 3.5 and it's just a white backdrop, that shadow is going to give separation. Use shadow. Everybody tries to get rid of shadow saying it's bad. It's not bad. It's a good thing. It gives you separation. It gives you dimension. You don't have it. It's just a flat image without it. Now I want to show you this because I love this image so much. I wanted to change that box around because I didn't like the brown box. So I wanted to show you one with a black box. And I just did that in Photoshop. But, here's one, with the regular brown box. It looks great. But I did like the look of the black box versus the brown box. I wish I had more of those boxes in the studio in different colors, but I don't. So when I do need to change the color, I'll just do it in Photoshop. It's easy. Now, I want to show you a lot of the, just straight images and the dramatic images so you can really get a good idea of what these two lights can do. Now, that shadow is coming from the softbox. They set the softbox so that, that large lip on that softbox would create a shadow on the backdrop. I wanted that there. I want that dimension, it adds that streak of light into her. And the other shadow is coming from her herself. So it's perfect. And, it's giving, again, more dimension and more interest to the image overall. So don't be afraid of shadows, even coming from the soft boxes or umbrellas, whatever you're using. Now, again, I use umbrellas all the time too, but with a softbox, you get just a little bit more control. Well, with a grid, you get a lot more control, but just a bare softbox, you get a little bit more control. Now, I always recommend getting the grids with any softbox you get. A strip box, octabox, these square boxes, whatever you're going to get a grid with it because you get so much more control out of it. Now I'm trying to control the light as much as I can without that grid on that light. So, for later on in the shoot, I'm going to show you, I'm going to like just switch these lights out because I want a lot more control up front. This is doing a great job. I think it's doing a fantastic job. But if I want more control of that light, more control of the spill, and just a little bit more contrasty look, I need that grid. So I don't have it on that square softbox. So I'm just dealing with what I have, and then I'll swap them out later. But you can control it to a certain extent with this, pulling them away from the backdrop. I only have so much space in the studio. I don't have enough space to really control it from the fall off on the backdrop without a grid. With a grid, I can make that backdrop go black. But without a grid, I could just make it go, a darker gray. That's the best I can do with it. Anyway, this was our last outfit of the day. This was supposed to be a birthday shoot, but we had missing parts, so I'm actually having her come back in on Wednesday for her actual birthday shoot, and we're gonna do this all over again, um, hopefully with a different set of lights just to have more fun and to share more lights with you guys. But this shoot, I just thought this was a blast. And then the last thing, I really wanna push this, I know everybody wants round catch lights in the eyes. It's ridiculous to me. I shoot indoors all the time, like in buildings, in houses, and the window light and the catch light from the windows is fantastic. It's gorgeous. So don't be afraid to use square. It's a great light. It's easy to use, and I love this softbox in particular, and I love the strips. So if you haven't tried a strip, definitely try a strip box because they're fantastic. You can just do so much with them and get so much control of the light. So, that's my shoot for the day. This was a long one, but I really wanted to share all of it with you because I wanted to show you just what you can do. By the way, I pulled that main light back as a fill light. So I'm using the strip box as the main light, and now I'm using that main light as a fill light. That's it. I just turned it down quite a bit. I have more power going to the strip box, and now I'm turning that strip box to go with the angle of her, so I can evenly light her from head to toe, and it worked out pretty well. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave them below.